You may be managing many parts of life well, while still noticing that certain reactions, relationships, or decisions are shaped by older experiences. If that hits home for you today, I just want to say right off the bat, you're absolutely not alone. It is incredibly common to carry echoes of our past right into our present. Today, we're going to explore a framework that helps make sense of those older experiences and exactly how they might be showing up in your life right now.
Okay, let's dive into this explainer. We're looking at understanding the 3 stages of trauma recovery. This whole framework is based on the reflections and writings of Jose H. Carballo, a licensed clinical social worker. And honestly, it offers a really practical, supportive way to recognize your own patterns and figure out where you might want to focus your attention next.
Now, what's really interesting about this is just how shared these feelings actually are. Based on prior CLE quiz responses, get this, 95% of people reported that they are still working on finding their emotional balance. 92% reported second-guessing themselves or feeling stuck when making decisions. And 87% feel selfish or guilty when they try to communicate their needs. So to put that into perspective, if you are navigating these feelings, you are in very, very good company. The 3 stages we'll be breaking down are awakening, which is all about noticing and understanding, breakthrough, which focuses on actively changing, and empowerment, which is about integrating and maintaining. Now, here's a crucial point. These stages, found in Jose's writings, are flexible, reflective guides. They're absolutely not clinical diagnoses, fixed labels, or some sort of guaranteed linear sequence. You might actually recognize parts of more than one stage at the exact same time. And you know what? That is completely normal.
So let's start by looking at the first stage, the awakening stage, which is all about recognizing the patterns. Awakening usually involves noticing that negative childhood experiences might still be shaping your present world. We're talking about your decisions, your boundaries, or even your self-worth. You start recognizing patterns in your relationships and your emotional reactions. Suddenly, things that once felt totally normal might start raising some serious questions. This can show up as feeling emotionally overwhelmed, struggling to speak up, or finding certain decisions unusually difficult to make. But listen, simply recognizing these patterns, that is a massive and incredibly meaningful step forward.
Once you start seeing those patterns clearly, we transition into stage 2, the breakthrough stage, moving into action. So the crucial takeaway here is that in this stage, you are actively interrupting those old protective patterns and practicing different, healthier responses. This is where you really start setting and strengthening your boundaries, making more intentional choices, even when it feels super uncomfortable. And it's important to remember that this process can be exhausting. You are challenging deep-seated old beliefs. So it's perfectly normal if some days feel easier than others, or if those old habits occasionally pop back up. That is literally just part of the learning and growing process. Now, all that active, sometimes tiring work leads us right to the third phase, the empowerment stage, where we are building a new foundation. When things finally start to click into place in the empowerment stage, you're integrating these healthier patterns into your everyday living. You're strengthening your self-trust, your confidence, and you're living much more consistently with your own personal values. Really, it's about maintaining those boundaries you worked so hard to build, but doing it without that constant internal conflict. You can confidently align your daily decisions with what truly matters to your well-being. It becomes second nature. Now, if you're wondering where you might be on this path, you can take the free trauma recovery quiz today. It's a gentle, practical way to reflect on your current stage. After completing the quiz and providing email permission, you'll receive the Trauma Recovery and Life Enrichment Roadmap right in your inbox to help guide your next steps. Ultimately, whatever stage feels most familiar to you today, just taking the time to notice your patterns is a huge leap forward. Ask yourself, what is one small pattern you can begin to notice with compassion this week? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer from the Center for Life Enrichment. Love, inspire, heal.